On this video, I want to talk about another important component of the Summit system, which is this idea of self-direction. In self-direction, students are guided through a learning cycle where they actually engage in the process of setting goals, making plans to make those goals come true, actually trying to make those goals, and then demonstrating their skills and knowledge, and finalizing it with some reflection before starting it all over again with a different topic. This is how they go through a lot of the content in their year. And so it's very important, and it helps design or build in their hearts, in their minds, the habits of success, which are so important to make them successful in real life. And so this is another core of what we do, and it's an actual class. Now, before I talk about the class, let's talk about that cycle one again. So the cycle starts with this idea of setting a goal. Maybe the kid will pick a topic that they need to, a test that they need to pass, a content assessment. And then they will say, I need to pass this by next week. And so I'm going to set a date, a very specific date, and I'm going to get at least an 8 out of 10 on that. So they make a very specific goal. And there's a whole different video where I talk about setting good goals. Then you're going to make a plan. I'm going to break it down, and over the next 3 days, I'm going to study each of the objectives. I'm going to use video resources because I like those, and it usually works for me. And so I'm going to do that objective 1 today and take notes on that, Cornell notes. See, being very specific. And then tomorrow I'm going to do objective 2, and then the day after I'm going to do objective 3. And then the day after I'm going to start studying. I'm going to review it with a friend. We're going to quiz each other, and I'm going to attempt it for the first time 5 days from now. And then if I don't pass it, I will take it from there, right? Then they will actually engage in that learning, that plan that they set out to do. And after that, actually try to pass the exam. That's where they show. And after they actually either pass or don't pass, they reflect on how that process went, what they could have done better, how it worked for them, what can they do different next time, and then reset. If they pass the test, they will go to a different topic and try the same thing. If they didn't pass the test, they will do this with something with a different set of resources, or change the way they studied so that they can do better the next time they try to show mastery. They can also apply this same kind of idea to completion of projects. So it's a cycle of being a student, essentially. And it's directed, but it's only up to them to take ownership of that process, to decide what to focus on next. And of course, the mentor is crucial in the guiding of this, but ultimately it's the student who does it. And in doing so, builds those important habits of success. So how will a typical student-directed learning class actually look like? In the school schedule, you will have a dedicated time for students to be doing this. So what you will see is you have students working on learning, working on setting those goals. They'll be working with each other, tutoring each other, or working with small groups with the teacher. The teacher may be giving them personalized resources or guiding them in choosing their own resources from the platform. And you might have some students also taking tests. So when this is done in a real classroom environment, you would have different sections of the room designed for these kinds of things. You have a place where students are taking tests, a place where students are studying, a place where students are working with partners, a place where students are working in a workshop with teachers. And all of this is also facilitated, once again, by the platform. Because within the platform, there's a place for students to set goals, a place for students to track deadlines, a place for students to actually see where they need to be in that spectrum and where they are. Each of the content assessments or focus areas has a series of resources they can pick from to personalize their learning. There are ways for them to practice. There's ways for them to see where they are with taking diagnostics, and then an option to take the actual exam. And if they don't do well, they can do it again. And so the platform is designed to actually facilitate this process throughout the year. And so that's self-directed learning. Now, to see this in action with an actual example, here again is a video that shows this in action in a classroom. And I will post a link to this in the description down below. So if you decide to watch it, you can see exactly what to expect. Now, if you are a remote student, this will be modified for the use of remote learning, but the concepts are essentially the same. You just don't have the physical space, but everything that happens in the physical space will happen virtually pretty much the same way. All right, so I'll see you guys on the next video where we're going to be talking about the projects, which is where the students spend most of their day working with core teachers. So we have